Hey there lovely people, it's Danny from Conscious Calisthenics here. So I wanted to share with you how you can go back to eating meat after being vegan or even vegetarian. And this is obviously going to be more towards people that have been eating this way for a very long period of time. And I'm a really good person to give you advice on this because I was vegan for 6 years until late last year, and before that I was vegetarian for almost 2 years. So I'd almost not eaten meat for a total of 8 years. And if you don't know why I quit the vegan diet and went back to meat and other animal foods, click the link up above and watch that video because I'll talk about that in full detail because I'm not going to in this video. So first off, what I want to mention, and this is based on my own personal experience and my own knowledge on eating meat and going back to eating meat, is that I would highly recommend that when you start buying meat and eating meat, that you source the highest quality meat that you can possibly afford and also get in your area. So for me, when I switched, I made sure I was getting all of my meats from a source where all the animals are pasture raised, which means they get to live outside. They also can go inside as well, and the company I buy from, they're free to go in and out whenever they want. So they're actually eating a natural diet, because most of the meat out there normally comes from factory farms, not pasture raised farms, where they are just mistreated as much as possible. Where like literally out of all different farming methods for animals for you to source meat from, factory farms treat them the absolute worst. So if you want to buy the most ethically sourced meat, then pasture raised is the way to go. It's also better for the environment, the planet, and it's also the main factor as to why I did it. It is the best for your health, because when it comes from pasture raised sources, it also will normally be antibiotic free, so the animals are given no antibiotics, no pharmaceuticals at any point, no human growth hormone or any other garbage that is synthetic, that is really bad for them and for you, because if it goes into them, you're going to eat their meat and then it's in there. And there's loads of research to show that those things are not good for you in any way, shape or form. And then they are normally fed corn and soy and grains that normally comes from genetically modified sources, which is really not good for them. It affects their health in a negative way holistically, so it's making them sick and then you're eating sick animals. Yes, some people get on all right with factory farmed animal meat based foods, but I would highly recommend that you do get the highest quality meats possible, because also it's been shown to have way more omega-3 and a lot, well, what I say is the factory farm sources have way more omega-6 and way less omega-3, which can cause inflammation in your body and a whole host of other negative effects. And it's shown that pasture raised animal based meat sources are way higher in many different nutrients as well. So if you want to feel your best, then make sure that you buy the best. That is very, very important. First off, so you've made the decision that you want to go back to eating meat and maybe other animal foods as well. So what I found is from my own personal experience that it's not good to try certain things that gross you out, that may have grossed you out in the past when you see animal foods, that may gross you out now, that you're not really drawn to in any way, shape or form, or attracted to it. So yeah, a lot of people like myself will say like liver is one of the best superfoods in the world, but for a lot of people to eat that, they don't like the smell of it, they don't like the texture, they don't like the taste. So if you're like, oh, I'm going to eat it because people say it's good for me, it's really nutrient dense, but you're not used to it and it doesn't appeal to you, it could really put you off eating animal foods altogether, when in fact you may really be needing to eat it, and that's probably why you're going back to eating animal foods in the first place, such as meat, because that's why I did it as well, due to my health declining on a vegan diet. So in this type of situation, I'd say just go easy on yourself. So for me personally, just eating meat on its own, because I wanted to switch to a carnivore diet, that it was just too much for me to get my head around just eating a steak on my plate. because I still cared about the animals. I still had a lot of vegan brainwashing and programming and whatnot. So yeah, for me, what I did was I ended up eating a burger, because what was my favorite food in the past? Burgers. So it was really easy to get my head around eating it. And when I came to eating it, because I used to love it so much, I didn't have any resistance whatsoever. I just ate it and I absolutely loved it and felt amazing from it. But do be warned, if you're someone that has a major serious health issues going on, and you might have autoimmune diseases or disorders going on, or you have some very serious gut issues where your gut is just very compromised, then it may make you feel bad, because with a burger, for example, there's gluten, there's sauce of it, and other various things that a lot of people cannot tolerate. So if you're one of these people, it's best to not do that. But for me, it was fine. I felt amazing from it, but I knew where I wanted to go, and that was going towards a carnivore diet, and I did that for around 30 days. I actually quit that recently. If you want to know why, click the link above. No, I'm not going back vegan. I'm on an omnivore diet, which I feel is more balanced for me and more suitable for me. Yeah, if you have serious gut issues going on, all the other things that I've mentioned, then just try and eat meat on its own, maybe with some salt and pepper. If you really love burgers in the past, just make homemade beef patties. Put some salt and pepper on, cook it in beef tallow, which makes it taste amazing. That is beef fat that is rendered fat from a cow, and it's just out of this world. I cooked all of my own personal meats in it because it just tastes so good. And then yeah, as you start to become accustomed to meat and you really start to like it and you're feeling really good from it, I found from my own personal experience, I then could go to things such as liver, or even drinking blood and eating other animal foods without having any mental blocks around it whatsoever, or just having a lot of like things come up for me that just made me resistant or grossed out to eating it. So it's very important. And something that I also did as well was I didn't start eating loads and loads of meat straight away. I know that when you eat specific foods, your gut microbiome will start to change. So I was eating small amounts at first, so my gut microbiome could change, and then my body would be able to digest, assimilate, and eliminate the meat as efficiently and effectively as possible. There are some people that just go and eat loads and loads straight away and they get on with that, but not everyone does. So I think for a lot of people it's good to just ease your way into it and let your body get used to eating meat, which is not eaten for a very long period of time, so you don't necessarily run into some digestive issues or complications. And so it's just easier to get your mind around it as well, because for me a lot of emotions came up when I started switching to meat due to many different reasons, and it may do for you as well. And that brings me to, if emotions come up where you feel you really bad about eating animals because their life has been ended, then just be present with the emotions that you have, let them surface, let them be expressed and processed. Don't be in a state of resistance, and just move through them, and be as loving and as positive to yourself as much as possible. Don't beat yourself up, because for me, it was one of the most self-loving things to go back to eat meat, because not eating meat and being on a vegan diet was destroying my health. And I am my number one priority. And if an animal's life has to be ended so I can feel the best and just fulfill my life purpose and mission in life, where I help loads of people transform their life and become a better version of themselves, and I have to eat meat to do that, then so be it. So don't beat yourself up, and do your best to not feel bad about it at all. And something that will really help you with this type of thing is when you buy that meat and start to eat it, you could pray towards this meat and just thank God for it, or Buddha, or whatever type of person that you believe in that's higher than yourself. And when you're eating it, just be really grateful. So I kept showing an attitude of gratitude. When I'd eat it, I'd be like, thank you so much. I'd be thanking the animal so much and feeling so much gratitude and love towards the animal for it providing me with that meat on my plate. And this is something that I've been aware of doing for a very long time. And when you're in a more of a positive state and doing things such as the attitude of gratitude and feeling really good, it makes your digestion and elimination as good as it can possibly be. Well, what I say, the most efficient that it could be. But if you're someone that's beating yourself up in your mind and you feel really down and then you're eating that, it could have some negative effects on you, because the emotions that you're feeling, the thoughts you have, will imprint in that food, and then it will go within you. And two last important things: do not overcook your meat. The least that you can actually cook it, the better. Some people get on a raw carnivore diet, but that's not something that I was drawn to. I'm still not drawn to that now. A lot of people never will be. So I'm not one of these people saying you must do this, but if you feel drawn to that, then do that. But yeah, cooking is absolutely fine. We've been doing it for millions of years. But if you start to cook it so much where the meat starts to become very dry and harder to chew and break down, it's going to be a lot harder for your body to break down. So it could start making you feel tired. You could end up with constipation. It might not just make you feel good. So that's just something to be aware of. And when you come back to meat, you might find you need it very well cooked, and then over a period of time, this is what my girlfriend found, she can just cook her meat less and less and less, and it makes her feel better, and it's more juicier, and it tastes a lot better for her as well. And last but not least, meat definitely can make your body more easily dehydrated than on a vegan plant-based diet, from what I have personally experienced. So there's been times in the past where I eat a lot of meat, I haven't been well hydrated before, and then I feel really tired for hours afterwards. And I know that if I drink liquid whilst I've got food in my stomach, this is for anyone, it will dilute your stomach acid, and then you end up with digestive issues, and the meat could end up rotting in your gut, which you do not want whatsoever, because it will make you feel awful. So then I have to wait until it's out of my stomach, and then I would drink loads of water, and boom, all of the fatigue and all of the other negative symptoms that were induced within me due to being dehydrated previously before eating the meat, and then being more dehydrated after eating the meat. So yeah, I think that's really, really important, and it's something you will just get used to over time, and it will become second nature for you to just make sure that you're more hydrated before meals and just throughout the day, so you can feel the best that you can feel. So that's it from me. If you have any personal experience with switching back to meat, and maybe you have some tips for some people that are watching this video, leave them down below in the comment section. Any questions, leave them down below. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And yeah, just make sure that you have the most amazing day that you can possibly have. And yeah, I'll catch you on the flip side. So stay fit, stay energetic, and enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.